In life, I believe nothing is perfect. All of us face issues that we go through on a daily basis, whether it's with your family, whether it's about work, or whether it's just your life, contemplating on what to do. It's always about decision-making processes. I feel like sometimes we have so much on our plates that even when we feel we are not doing anything or we don't have anything on our plates, we are actually trying to find ways to solve the issues that we have in our thoughts. And for entrepreneurs who are working or running their own production business, cinematographers, videographers, I believe all of us face these issues. Sometimes there are weeks or months that we do not have any clients, and we are thinking about how are we going to pitch to our clients and whether we're going to survive the next month. Sometimes the issues that we face is within ourselves, like should we do a content, or should we do a spec project, or should we call our friends and do some collaborations. We will keep on facing this dilemma on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, depending on how stressed you are for that day. But one thing for sure, we need to constantly push ourselves forward. Good thing is we have lots of advice on YouTube, professionals that have gone through all these issues, sharing their advice with us. But the problem is that sometimes you need to find your own pace, and you need to find something that probably sticks with you within your own environment, within your own country, within your own space. I mean, you might face the similar issues like your counterpart overseas, but does it fit with your environment? Does it actually ties to what you're doing? Probably some similarities when it comes to dealing with client is like creating a deck, pitching an idea. However, when you're dealing with businesses here in Singapore, things might be different, as compared to those overseas. And in terms of advice, like I said earlier, you can find it on YouTube, or you have friends who have gone through all these issues, or you have other production houses that could give you some advice. But to be honest, sometimes you have to find ways to filter those advice to see whether it actually ties with your situation or your challenges in this sense. As a small business owner, sometimes I do face this issue, and the advice given by your friends or YouTube influencers come in left and right. Don't get me wrong, I mean it's good to have advices, but sometimes it's just hard for you to pick which one is the right one for you, because like I said earlier on, certain things might be similar, but the challenges might be different. There are certain elements inside that might be different from your counterparts when they are facing this issue. My advice is try to, take a step back. When you hear all this advice, it can be overwhelming sometimes. So take a step back, filter in the good points, and then start analyzing the points that are bad, and see whether the advice given by your advisors or given by influencers on YouTube fit with the situation that you're in. To me, I usually zero in on the issue. For example, if I am facing a content creation issue, as a content creator and also running my own video production house, sometimes you might face issues like creating content. What kind of content do you want to create? Should you follow a trend, or should you create something that you like? Even to a certain extent, when you want to create creative content, sometimes you feel like there's mental blockages because you'll be thinking about getting leads. So when it comes to this situation, I usually take a step back. I'll see whether during this point of time I have enough space to actually create a creative content that fits with what I want. Or during this point of time, I need some leads for my company. Should I create a content that is fitting for my company? So I take a step back, I listen to the advisors, and I see how it goes from there. But sometimes there are ways to even, for example, in this situation, to mesh both into one. So again, it depends on how you see this. All in all, the advice given are not meant for you to fail. It's just that you need to pick the right choice. And you need to take a breather, It can be very overwhelming in the sense that everybody who gave you the advice are not necessarily understand what you are going through. And sometimes what you're going through, you can't just solve it with taking an advice from a friend or two. You need to find a solutions on your own. And that's the part where I feel like advice are good and you need to listen to it. But sometimes you need to find your own solutions when it comes to solving the issues at hand. I kind of understand as an entrepreneur who is running a small business, such as a video production business, things are not as easy as it seems. Client might think that whatever we do is very easy. Whatever we do is just take a camera, put some lights on, and it's straightforward cutting and stuff like that. To be honest, it's way beyond that. I myself edit most of the videos that I shoot for my client. From production to post-production, the time given for each of the productions and the manpower needed for each of the area of videography and cinematography is a lot. People don't understand that. You can ask anybody, they think that video production in this country at least is about, the minimum is about 1,500 for good cinematography work. But realistically, when you include all the rent, all the processes, all the time given to creating a video content, all the vehicles, all the food, all the manpower, scripting, everything from pre-production to production to post-production requires a lot of time, effort, manpower, and sleepless night. And the equipment, of course, is not cheap. Lots of lights and equipments, which technically you need to cover the cost. Most of the time, I would say clearly client don't understand that. When they heard the prices given, they say that, oh, it's very expensive. Oh, how come it's so expensive? It should be simple. Stuff like that I know. And I know very well that it tends to, hurt our feelings, hurt your pride and ego. For me, I try to numb it and explain to them as best as I can. And I'm not doing this business just for myself. The bigger the production, the more manpower you need. Again, with the manpower that you hire, you definitely need to increase the costing, right? And that comes with everything else, like the insurance, their safety, and everything else. So really those areas, client don't see it. So you as the business owner, as the main guy for the whole production, you will need to explain to them clearly what are they basically paying for. You need to explain to them from A to Z, what is this for, how should we go about this, and so forth. And to me, sometimes the client would understand, but sometimes client will immediately turn off, and they give a lot of reasons that they are on budget and so forth. Again, you need to find ways to fit in with their budget, but if it's too low, they are lowballing you, then don't bother doing. Just say thank you politely, probably move off. Because if they are expecting a production that is as big as the costing that you have given, but they are not willing to pay for it, and then they are lowballing you at the same time, that means you're not worth their time. You just need to walk away. You need to be able to gauge the costing on yourself and the people that you hire, whether this is fitting for the whole production. And if it's totally a lowball scenario, just move away, just walk away. There's no point for you to shoot a 5-figure production for only a 3-figure amount. And I think that's not fair for you, and that's not fair for the people around you. Because at the end of the day, the main thing here is for you to run a business. And I totally understand that for some businesses, especially small businesses, you want to have more portfolio. You want to have a certain amount of companies or brands under your portfolio. And you want to tell a story to, share with your other clients, to pitch them and say that, hey, I've worked on all of this project. But sometimes you have to step back. Sometimes you have to see and analyze the situation and ask yourself, is this actually worth it? If you are being pushed to the edge, don't be afraid to say no. But of course, do it politely and explain to them that the cost is not justifiable for the whole production. However, if you are starting up, I think you should go for it. Even if it's very low, just go for it. It might actually help you to go even further. But again, like I said previously, you have to analyze the situation on your own, and you have to ask yourself whether it's justifiable. Anyway, the vlog series that I'm doing right now is to talk about all the challenges that we as a company is facing. It's more of a raw format where, I speak off the cuff about my thoughts. I have points here, but I just relay it in my head without any scripting. So it's different from the perspective series where it's more scripted, where it's more, I would say it's more creative and more clean and cinematic. For this, it's more about what I have gone through running a company as an entrepreneur, a small video production business, and to share with you guys and also to reflect on myself to see what I can improve on my own. With whatever that I've shared with you, I hope it can also help you to improve your business. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope we can, discuss this further in the comment section below. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to like this video and probably share a comment or two. Just be nice to each other, because I feel like lately there are a lot of negativity happening in the world, and we all are human in a way. We all live together trying to survive in this world. So let's help each other as we go along. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and Assalamualaikum.